Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here. Welcome back to another MechWarrior Online patch notes review video of March 2025. The first thing we're going to talk about is, well, the first thing on the docket, which is the Mad Dog Sigma Legend Mech. That's right. We have a new legendary. Some distinctions here. I actually really dig the camo pattern. So whoever did that, I believe Tios, good job on that one. I think it'll look pretty sharp, especially with the three primary colors here. The other thing is jump jets. That's right, a Mad Dog with jump jets. Let's go ahead and hop into the mech lab here and let's talk about the hard points and then the quirks, which I think is really going to tell the full story here. Okay, so first off, let's go ahead and talk about this particular mech's hard points. We have 2 energy. I'm assuming this is also going to be a set of 8 bonus here, where you have to have all 8 omnipods to get the bonus here, because the first thing you're going to notice here is large laser family duration, negative 83%. That is without, I say, without skill trees. Okay, so you're also going to have the negative 15% there. This thing is going to be absolutely absurd. Now, that's all it has. That's all it's speaking for. We do have built-in 2 jump jets. And again, these are class 3. So you're really not going to be able to do a whole lot more with that. This is fascinating because I think what it does is it sort of makes a very unique play style, very niche play style. But other than that, base armor across the board, and of course, jump jet capability. With that being said, this also opens up other Mad Dogs to have potential combos with jump jets, albeit you'll be limited to an energy in the left or right torso with that. But I think that's probably a trade-off some people would take, especially if you're considering you could throw this on a Mad Dog with ballistics in its arms or something like that. You see a lot of builds out there. Anyways, just want to toss that out there. This is a legendary mech, of course, like I said, but it's an omni mech, so you're able to swap out the hard points. I'm just sort of theory crafting what you could potentially do with the other omnipods as well, whether it's missile or ballistic or a combo. It basically gives the Mad Dog a little bit of lacking mobility that it sort of had because of the lack of jump jets. I mean, really, when you're in maps like Canyon Network and you're down in the canyons, to be able to get out isn't always an option. And well, now that's going to be an option, albeit with negative 83% laser duration with potentially a set of 8s there. Like I said, we don't really know here. It's not really moused over a set of 8. I'm assuming, and of course to be adjusted. This is pretty absurd. You throw on the targeting Mark 7 here that it has, along with the skills, you're really talking about a laser duration that may literally be just a flash really quick, and you've done 36 damage pinpoint basically to whatever target. Yes, it's a Mad Dog, but in this case, the hard points are relatively high, not low like the arms, about midway, especially considering where the cockpit is. All that being said, it now has agility. We're not worried about ECM here, but I think it's this is going to be unique. And of course, this is large laser family, so that's your large pulse, your heavy larges, and your ER larges. And I think you're gonna have options there if you want to do either or. I mean, you could basically use this as a sniper if you wanted. You could do the large pulse, especially with how quick that duration is. Pretty obscene. I think we will see these. I think it's a unique perspective and take on a legendary mech. And like I said, it also opens the door up to other setups. Anyways, that is the new legend coming out, the Sigma. And this is, of course, coming out in March of 2025. If you're watching this later, I'll give a review after I've played it for a bit. Okay, we have some store adjustments next. Apache released for MC, Spectre released for MC, and multiple war horns released for MC. This is actually really cool, and I'll go ahead and read the note here. We've kind of been slacking on updating the war horns released for MC. We're doing a large backlog of old war horns and adding them for store MC of 750 MC. In the future, a mech pack booster or legend will have its war horn released for 750 MC 8 months after the pack release. Loyalty, reward, or prestige warhorns will not be released. Standing and hanging items for these packs will not be released. The Warhorns that have been added to the in-game store for 750 this patch are Clan Gatling. Anyways, you guys can go through the list. Here's my thoughts on this. I actually think this is really cool. There's some really cool Warhorns that I think wish we could get because they're part of legendaries. I am going to push back and say I think 8 months is a little crazy. Guys, that's way far out. How about 3 months? I mean, you're basically, how about a month after release? We're talking about a Warhorn. I'm actually, you know what? How about you just release it when the legendary comes out? People aren't buying them for the Warhorns, they're buying them for the mechs. So just tossing it out there to you, PGI, if you're listening, Matt Newman or Tios, just release it on the mech. I don't see any negative here. You're just going to make more money or have people spend their MC that they already have. I think it's a win-win. I don't think people are too worried about Warhorns. And, you know, especially prestige and loyalty rewards. I get sort of the hesitation there, but as far as legendary and Warhorns, just get them out there. Let people throw money at you. Okay, that's simple enough. Gameplay changes. Wolf Dragoon's booster pack badge changed to Wolf Dragoon's logo. The decal and cockpit item have not been changed. Conquest has returned to 750 tickets to win and reactivate for quick play. All right, so there was a Grand Conquest event. And it was an experiment, and his thoughts were, while I feel the Grand Conquest event was a successful experiment, there's a lot I learned and how it can be implemented and improved for the future. The biggest need is adding faction play style spawn walls and perhaps even turrets to prevent spawn camping in such extended matches. I hope to bring back Grand Conquest again, but at some point down the road where I have more time to properly plan things and make the required changes. Cool, I like that. You test something, you take the feedback, you take what you learn, and you apply it next. That's cool. When mechs look down far enough for the arm reticle to clip through the mini-map, i.e. right here, the minimap now becomes semi-transparent to allow the player to see the arm reticle and other HUD elements under the minimap, as shown in the example below. The minimap behaves as before in any other situation. This is a plus. I think I heard Naveed talking about this a long time ago. I think that was him. If it was you, Tios, I apologize. But I'm pretty sure this was brought up months ago. I'm glad it finally happened. And there are use cases where this does happen all the time. I'm looking at you, Heavy Metal, and a few of the other mechs, especially when you're jumping up and looking down to engage. You just can't. Yeah, you're taking a shot in the dark. So this is actually a really cool feature. I think that's a pretty good idea here. Weapon changes. Remove micro pulse laser ghost heat. The penalty for the original was set to 13. They just removed that entirely. And the big one here, reduce clan proto AC2 volume by 15%. I don't think that's going to be enough. Those things are stupid loud. I mean, they start going off. It's the loudest weapon in the game. I don't mind it, but man, I think you're going to have to tone it down another 10%. It is quite loud, but obviously good change there. Mech changes. We got the Grasshopper left and right torso energy now load from top down. Hallelujah. Thank you, balance. Tios, if that was you, and or the Cauldron, thank you. Stuff like that really grinds my gears, and I'm sure it grinds everybody's gears. Like just I've always wondered, they should have just let the players choose, but I digress. I know it's a balanced decision because, you know, Cicada high hard points are just OP. I'm glad that got fixed. Thank you, Naveed. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue where full body structure quirks would grant an unintended bonus to rear CT, left torso, and right torso armor. This impacted the Roughneck, the Osiris, the Enforcer, and the Firemoth. Yes, that's right. During the Firemoth event, these things were getting unintended bonuses. So anyways, glad it got fixed. Cool story. Some quirk changes. We actually have a sort of a nerf here to the Commando DO3. I think it's needed. The thing's sort of a little bit ridiculous as is. While it's getting a nerf in survivability, it's getting a buff in lethality, -10 duration up to -30. That's nice. I mean, it's basically, it plays a stick anyways. So for you Commando pilots, you're welcome, I guess, but I'm just gonna, yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, granted, it's not a huge nerf, but it's a little bit of nerf. Obviously a reduction of machine gun rate of fire to 50 from 75 on the Osiris. We've got the Arctic Cheetah added HSL to the set of 8s. Again, I don't mind set of 8s because pretty much it's sort of pushing the mech into its default role per se, and what that allows you to do as a designer is control what the best performance you can get potentially out of it, and it really makes them unique. It's an interesting side note. I remember catching so much crap back in the day for very specific niche roles of stuff, and we've come full circle where you know, now that's back, and it's you know, it's really all you can do considering how many variants there are. So anyways, I think that's fine. Incubus, big nerf here, removed the laser duration. The Incubus, I remember when this mech was just absolutely trash and no one played them. Yeah, so there's that. Nerfs across the board. I'm not surprised. They are pretty dang good right here. Jenner 2C, removed the heat. Again, I don't know if that's needed, but there we have it. Vulcan 5T, we've got some, you know, reduction of machine gun rate of fire, just removed. Flamer range and standard, you know, ER medium laser heat. What they basically did is just gave it extra just heat in general or cooldown. Definitely pushing the 5T to use lasers instead of maybe snubs. Vapor Eagle, this is a big one. Increases yaw speed to 200 degrees from 130. That's a substantial difference here. And yaw speed is basically torso twist for those who don't know, just basically how quickly you can flip left or right. Increased torso pitch speed from 95 to 145. That's a big deal. Again, how quickly you can look down. And then it's pretty much got some stuff pointed towards LBX weapons. Again, I'll have to take a look out of here. Anything when I see 20%, 40%, those are quite substantial because that does not include the skill tree. So you throw on some of that other spread, you're making basically an LB into an autocannon at that point. That could be quite dangerous here. Also, again, no changes to the rival. Interesting. Quick draw. Pretty much just a consolidation of quirks. I think this is a good idea. Hey, you're not breaking anything. Give it cooldown 20%. So boom. Now everything on it, which is basically missile and energy. I like that. 4H, again, reduction of heat, but added weapon velocity that can help with the you know, missile and or the energy hardpoints. And then the 5K here, we have a increase on laser heat to 10 from 5. The 5K is sort of known for the binary build or large laser build, and you've seen a few others as well with it. So definitely pushing it. The quick draw is sort of one of those like really good mechs, underutilized, underappreciated. I would toss it out there. You just don't see them as often, but they do pretty good. Okay, catapult. All variants removed all structure quirks and added 7 full body structure just right from the get-go. Now what's unique about that is I wonder how that works. I wonder if it's going to display just 7 structure across the board. Now I was under the impression, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm reading this, Tios, feel free to leave a comment or hit us up during the stream. I was under the impression that if you increase the structure amount, that it automatically would default change the armor values as well. I think that's what Naveed believed. Again, if I'm misunderstood here, let me know, because if you can just do 1 entry for structure, man, that would save up so much entries. So many mechs could use that across the board, or just IS mechs just in general, make them a little bit more tanky. Rifleman, a lot of changes here. Basically cooldown, increased ballistic cooldown to 20%. Basically you're just losing the AC5 and it's going on top of the base one. So again, what it's doing is instead of saying AC5s, you can do anything on the 3N. We got range buff on the 3C. Again, consolidation here. Instead of having energy and ballistic, just consolidate and range across the board. I really like these. There's nothing crazy on here. We'll definitely have to check those out. Again, the roughneck consolidation here. Hey, instead of having all this, just give it blanket. I can't stress that enough. These are good things to have. Gauss cooldown on the Roughneck 2A, 35%. Don't forget, skill tree. Thunderbolt, removed all structure, added full body structure. Again, I wonder if that is the quirk. If it is, man, I wish I would have had that back in the day. That's awesome. And then the 5S here, increased cooldown to 20 from 10 and remove standard laser cooldown. So instead of having it standard laser focused, 5S, it just opens that up. Grasshopper, initial jump jet thrust. Hey, here we go. I wanted this a little bit ago, so thank you, whoever listened on that. I don't know if it has Naveed or not. The Grasshopper out of all mechs. I wonder if the 75 is going to be enough. Maybe even higher. I don't know, but make grasshoppers jump again. That's dope. 5J, this is the laser duration. The 5J is the one I believe that has the split torso and arms. So it's not the best hardpoint locations. So giving it a little bit more laser duration DPS is never a bad thing here. Grand Summoner, someone really taking some touches here on the Grand Summoner. Had a heat to the set of 8. UAC Jam Chance, again, quite significant here. Increased velocity here. This is just a straight buff. I mean, pretty much across the board, just range instead of energy. Dropped it from the arms, ballistic. I mean, we definitely will need to check that out. Grand Summoner getting some big buffs. They did what they did for the others, removed the base structure on all and just gave it 20 full structure, which is effectively making it, you know, like a assault level structure, you know, again on the Summoner, which is funny because it's basically giving it like free protection, which the Pharaoh Fibrous would do if it had Indo Steel. You know, anyways, I digress. Some pretty big stuff for HSL CT on the Delta here. Cooldown again on the CT. I don't see any set of 8. So I think what this does is it sets it up for, again, specific builds, whether it's, hey, you take this and you take some of the others for bonuses on ballistic or, you know, again, energy, PPCs, UAC 10 builds, so forth and so on. Big consolidations here, set of 8s, pushing it towards that. This will be interesting. The Night Gear is one of those, I would say, like, you only see it in a few roles, and some of these I think are quite substantial and may really help the mech, albeit it's controlled power creep in the sense of you know what it's able or can equip under the circumstances. Yeah, again, because of how many mechs were done, I think this is just a win-win. Marauder, all structure removed, added full body structure, added 7 CT armor, and the Marauder 3L, HSL 4 PPCs. Interesting. That means Goss Peep is back on the table, I believe. Okay, we've got the Maul here. Wow, okay. So the Maul is, okay, so for those who don't know, the Maul is very powerful for Hag 40 setup. It's getting a nerf here. It's pushing the person who's, people that do this to just using regular Goss. But guess what? They're still going to do Hag 40s. Why? Because Hag 40s are that good. So even with the 10% nerf to cooldown, I still suspect this is going to be good. It's just not going to be as good. The DPS does drop off here. In my opinion, definitely needed. We got the Zeus here, added right torso armor. And that is on the tournament supporter pack. Cyclops reduced, and this is Sleipnir, reduced ballistic cooldown from 15 to 10. I saw that coming. It was a little bit too good to be true. Again, UAC 5 setup is still pretty nasty on that. Just tossing that out there. Mauler, this is pretty much a requirking, if you will, on the Mauler across the board. Remove all quirks and then all new stuff. Now, I am not a Mauler player. I feel like the Mauler is always just it's okay. It's like one of those I would rather just play another assault compared to this. So I will check these out and report back. I know that some of them can be quite nasty. This is interesting. This is basically, I'm assuming remove all quirks. There's no structure. There's no armor here. These are some big 20% cooldown. I think what they're trying to do is make it a glass cannon. And right now, I'm all for that. Cooldown, heat, HSL for UAC 20s. You know what to do with that. All right. Bull Shark 2, reduced. So we got a nerf. Bull Shark 6, reduced CT armor. Yeah, the 6 is nasty here. So you are losing 5 on that. Okay, it's a little bit of a nerf. The Clan Bullshark, yep, I see, same sort of nerf here. Nightstar, basically receive it and basically got a nerf here. Weapon velocity and the crit receiving. And Godzilla removed Hag 40, 48 Hag, and words. Hag's got a nerf on this. Increased standard Goss. This is definitely pushing it towards, hey, use 4 Goss or use 2 Goss and 2 Hag 30s. Something. Yeah, I can definitely see this, because I think it was the Hag 30 build quad 30s, which was quite substantial on it. Yeah, I know you can do Hag 40s or Hag 30s and Goss. That's sort of what I run. Interesting. And then the SR7 removed heat, cooldown, and laser duration. Still punching above its weight. We have a lot of balancing here going on. Those Mauler changes, quite interesting. We have the legendary here. Wow. Okay, so a lot of science to be had. All things considering, for those that don't know, MechWarrior Online pretty much has one developer, and that is Teos. Again, quick shout out to Teos. I know you've been busting your ass. Good job on the mech. He's a 3D modeler as well. He did the Fire Moth. And then, of course, you got the Cauldron. Good job on balancing. I think this is going to be unique here. As far as adjustments to like maps and stuff, I did bring up some spawn location potential changes to Teos and on stream, and he did say he's going to pass those on the Cauldron. It's more of like small stuff like, on Grimplexus, on I believe Skirmish or whatever, it spawns all 3 lances way far apart, and you have to walk like 2 minutes just to get around. It's stuff like that can be really, really just annoying, and not anything drastic, but I think spawns can be cleaned up. As far as I know, Teos did said they are just location, grid location, so they potentially could just have those in a fix. So that would be cool in the future. But anyways, I think some of these adjustments to the quirk are going to be fun and enjoyable. Specifically the legendary here. I can see where it's trying to go. It almost gives me, vibes of like the Jenner and that, quick, being able to do that. Poke, maneuver. I think the jump jets give it something that, like the Hellbringer doesn't have. There's going to be even less mechs that aren't jump jet capable. I don't know how many people are going to use the left-right torso just for jump jets, but potentially you could do plasmas. You could do a combo of one of the torsos plus SRMs on the other, or ATMs, or whatever. I mean, there's a whole host of things you could do there. Again, you could even throw a ballistic torso on there with jump jets, with SRMs, whatever. I mean, again, just tossing that out there. But yeah, that's your patch notes review. We got a lot coming down the pipeline as far as balances, and I'll be there playing live. So if you want to just tune in, I do stream Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. through 4 p.m. Eastern. And again, I'll have those links to the Discord, my Twitch, and of course I do stream on YouTube now. And I'd like to give a quick shout out to all of my supporters and everybody who shows up. Quick shout out to all of my new YouTube members as well. For those that don't know, I think we're up to like 45 YouTube members. Starts at like 99 cents. You guys get access to the videos as soon as I upload them. We have 1440p, no ads on YouTube as well. So if you like my content, check that join button out. I'm trying to get the word out there to as many people, because this is what I do on a daily basis. And if I don't ask for your support, how would you know? So if, you want to check that out, earliest buy in there is like 99 cents. So anyways, check that out. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow on another stream. Take care. Be safe. Until next time. Just letting everybody know, there's new designs on the store. The Thug and the Star Slayer. Also, mouse pads. Not test mats, mouse pads. But we have those too. Go get one. NoGutsNoCalcs.net. I'll have a link in the description below.